Alright, let's slow down a minute. So we have the directional freedom. I haven't really seen a whole lot of advantage using cage going vertically up or down, but certainly for sure to use the cage going horizontally is definitely recommended. We have individual note targeting, you know, where if somebody says start on something, start on a C sharp, we're going to play in the key of C sharp or C sharp minor, whatever. Now if it's C sharp minor, be careful, because then it's not root. So if you find the C sharp dot, which is here, here's my C sharp, so I might as well be calling that the C sharp dot. Okay, if they're not playing a major here, C sharp major, which is a kind of a difficult key, so it'd probably be in C sharp minor. So E would be the major, but really it could be anything. I mean, it could be any of three keys. C sharp minor could be the third of A, it could be the second of B, and it could be the sixth of E. So you would have to decide that. But let's say, well, we're doing C sharp minor and I think it's in the key of E. Okay, so now it's the sixth. So all we have to do is target that sixth. So let's look at our sixth note again. 6 is A, G. Just remember A, G. That's the caged horizontal neighbors that share that 6. Okay, and so we'll go to any 6 on this board, because remember this is independent of key, so that 6 could be any note, but we're gonna get on the right note on the guitar. So we go to a C sharp, or so once you know where that C sharp dot is, you just play that note. All right, now some people know how to find another C sharp on there. So let's say you get to the C sharp that's on the second string. This will make it a little easier to play. So they're doing this thing in C sharp minor. Now it's the 6, and remember what we saw is the 6 shape is what? The 6 shape was A, G. One more time. 6 shape is A, G. 6 on the second string right here is A, G. So they're doing one of these. And then you just do it, you're doing an A, G. So it's going to be a G on the top. A on the bottom. Okay, and then you have the fret note mobility all the way up from there. So you're in an A shape, 5th of A is E, so you can go from the G shape. G is going to go to what? 5th of G is the D shape. So that D shape would connect with what? The next cage shape up, and from D is the E shape. What's E going to go to the G shape? And there's your C sharp again. So that's single note targeting, and then branching out into 5th, 4th, and horizontal caged to the right, to the left, increasing pentatonic scale. Alright, going up in 5th in string shapes, going down in 4th in string shape, and then it just has to do with fitting them together. So here we are again looking at the S3L. And I want to remind you that the fitting together of them means that the 5/6 is going to be lined up with 2, 3, 5, 6 root 2. And this is a pentatonic scale, 2, 3, 5, 6 root 2. So add the 4th and the 7th and you get the diatonic. So you have to know that the 3 and the 4th are pairs over on the right on the bottom in the D shape, and in the E shape the 7 and the root are pairs over on the left. So you have to know how to fit them together. But once you know that, and you know how to adjust them for the tuning warp, the patterns will play like magic. It really will. So here we've got a D shape 2, 3, 4 going to an A 5, 6, and then we have to remember to go over to get that 7. So remember the S3L pattern is like a 7 and an L. Right there. You see the 7, 7 root 5, 2, and then 2, 6, 3, 4. It's like a mini 7 and an L there. And of course the S2L pattern, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, is just a rectangular pattern. Ignore the 4 and the 7 and you have a pentatonic scale, 3, 5, 6 root. You have part of a pentatonic scale. So the other way to look at it is, so let's look at the S2L here. This is like the bottom of your C shape. So if you're going to play a C pentatonic, you're going to start, E's going to be the 3rd of C. So the C pentatonic starts with 3, 5, 6 root, and then goes 2, 3, 5, 6, root, 2, 3, 5. Okay, so in pentatonics, we're not even worried about the 4 and the 7. We're just looking at this. I call it a stack of 3 short. And it's very interesting because in a D-shaped pentatonic, you have that S3S, 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. And then in the G shape, after you get past the initial top of an S2L, you can go into one of those uninterrupted, unwarped S3S. So this is your G-shaped pentatonic. Now this right here is a double warped over S2L. It's 7 root 2, 7 root 2. It's not an S2L. It's actually 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the top of an S3L and the bottom of an S2L. And this is aliasing. We've got half step, whole, half step, whole. So every time we're passing out of, whoop, I keep getting locked in by the drawing tool. And then use the wrong click. Every time we're passing out of a 7L pattern, okay, so here's the 7L pattern. Drawing tool, please. Here's the 7L pattern. Every time we're going out of a 7L pattern into an S2L pattern, we have aliasing. Half step whole, half step whole. Every time we're going from an S2L pattern, which is a G pattern, it's whole step half, into a D pattern, we have whole step half. So we have aliasing going into the S3L, aliasing coming out. And you can also look at it as just letters. So with letters, it's every time you go from a G to a D, you have a mirror image pattern. And every time you go from an E pattern to a C pattern, you have a mirrored image pattern. That we're going to be focusing on in the next lesson. We'll probably get to that. So that is the aliasing. A little bit more about aliasing. I'm like drying out. It's like 85 in here still.